ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कथामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So let's pay our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Govinda and Srila Prabhupada. So okay, we just okay. So section C, this is where we were. So let's continue. Verses 32 to 34. Krishna says, time I am become my instrument. We discussed this already. So let's go on to the next slide. We discussed this also. He says, become my instrument. It's like, foolish people think that they are doing everything. Everything is an accident, or they think they are the doers. But they think nature is moving without any plans. But we know that Krishna is in control. Nothing moves without his sanction. So, a conditioned soul. Once the conditioned soul surrenders to Krishna and starts cooperating in his, grand plan, with cooperating with the Lord, and following the instructions given by the spiritual master, then that means he's already on a liberated platform. So that we understand. We discussed this in the last class. That's why I'm saying it briefly. So we have to start from here, 11.34. Okay. Anjali Mataji, would you like to recite Mataji? Hare Krishna. You recite
Hare
very
Krishna.
well, Mataji.
I'll recite in some different way because these are 4 lines, no? I don't know whether it will work, but I will try. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dronam cha bhishman cha jayadratham cha karnam tatha na piyodha virana maya hantasva jahima vyatishta yuddhasya jeta sirane sapatnam. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So Arjuna was refusing to fight. He did not even want to fight in the first few chapters. We saw that in the first chapter itself. He starts revealing in second chapter, and he asks more and more questions. And from that, it was in the beginning, it was very obvious that he did not want to fight. But now, after coming to this chapter here, at this stage, we understand that Krishna wants this fight. God, the Supreme Lord, wants this battle to happen. So this battle of Kurukshetra was Krishna's plan, Krishna's will. So if one is in full Krishna consciousness and his life is devoted to Krishna, is in complete devotion, doing devotional service, he'll be very happy to execute his duties. Automatically his life becomes perfect. There's no confusion at all. What should I do in my life? No confusion, because the spiritual master is guiding him all the time. And here Krishna himself is guiding Arjuna. So there is no confusion at all. Just like we saw the example of the surgeon. And he's also showing that he's already killed all the, enemies on the way. So Arjuna is just being an instrument here. But Arjuna will get the credit. So that is very clear. So we have to understand, Krishna has a plan and everything happens because of his mercy. What we have is a little, free will. We have to use that free will to cooperate with the Lord. So that becomes very, very clear. Our life becomes perfect when we start following all the pure devotees. It becomes successful. The moment we are under the care of a spiritual master, everything becomes clear. There is no anxiety, there is no confusion, there is nothing no need to worry, no fear, basically, because it is like he is guiding us at every step. So that's how Arjuna is feeling right now. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually had predicted. Now Krishna is going to give credit to Arjuna for winning this battle, which we know will happen soon. Same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had predicted that this Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be chanted in every town in the world. That prediction happened long back and it came true. When it happened, the West did not even know about it. But when Prabhupada arrived, you know, however small or insignificant we may feel, but if it is the Lord's will, if it is His mercy, something concrete will happen. Now we see how Prabhupada um, traveled all the way to the West, took this mantra over there, and then converted so many people into Vaishnavas, and he purified them. That is the greatest service you can do to anyone, bringing them out of misery. Because Krishna consciousness is full of joy. The moment a person starts, following the spiritual master's order and chants and does all the devotional service, his progress, his life becomes better and better and better. So there is no anxiety, there is no fear, and he actually purified so many people. They gave up all their bad habits, and then they were completely involved in Krishna's service. That is Krishna karma. Prabhupada writes, whatever is done for Krishna, like cleaning the temple or spreading, glorifying him, singing his kirtan, and trying to spread the message of Krishna, trying to learning, hearing about Krishna and spreading that message. That is all Krishna karma. So there are many examples of this, however, whatever little service we do also is important. It is actually the Lord is watching. He knows our heart. If it is a service coming from our heart, that is service. There is this beautiful example of a squirrel. It's such a small squirrel. When the Vanara Sena was trying to build the bridge, just before Ravana, this squirrel also was trying to build. It was throwing some stones and mud and whatever it could do. And then all these others who were there, they were like looking at the squirrel and said, what can this creature do? But then Ram noticed and he said, let him do his service. That is his capacity. We all have our own capacity, right? Not everybody, we can't compare ourselves with others. Whatever God has given us, talent, skill, whatever capacity we have, using that, we serve the Lord. So that is how it is. And then here, one more important point mentioned here is Dronam cha Bhishman cha Jayadratham cha. Jayadratha. Why is Jayadratha's name here? We know Drona and Bhishma. Dronacharya is Arjuna's teacher. Bhishma Dev is also related to him, elderly in the family. But why Jayadratha is important here? Why is he so important? Is he that important that Arjun should worry about him? Is he such a big enemy? So do you know about Jayadratha, what he had done? Why he is also, kind of significant here? Have you heard about him?
He killed Abhimanyu.
Jayadratha, what he done? He was married to Dushala. Okay, but he was attracted to Draupadi. And when they were in exile, one day he saw no Pandavas were not there, nobody is there. He approached her. He went to her and said, what are you doing with this? Just come with me. I will keep you so happily. Become my wife. So that's what he said. And Draupadi, first when he arrived, she welcomed him nicely, because that's what we do when guests arrive. We say, yes, how are you? Please sit down, take your seat, or what do you want? Do you need anything? Very nice she was. But after hearing him, she got very angry. She gave him a nice dashing. Then what happened? He captured her, put her on the chariot, and then Pandavas came to know. Then obviously, they went and released her. They were very angry with Jayadratha actually. So now Bhima especially was very angry. He's very vocal about it, and he's always willing to do something about it right then and there. But these poor Pandavas are very obedient, they always listen to the eldest brother. So they went to him and they said, what do you suggest? So he said, don't do that, please don't kill him. You just chop 5 hair of him, chopping the hair also is an insult those days. So he said, just chop his hair and leave him because he's related to us. So let us not kill him. So they left him. Now, after so much, he was scared that they will hurt him, but now he's free. Do you think he'll keep quiet? He will get back at them, right? At some point, because his heart is like that. He's envious. So he'll go to Himalayas, Gangotri, and he'll do penance to Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva is very pleased with his, Lord Shiva is very easy to please. Ashutosh, that's why he's called Ashutosh, very Bholenath. Is very easy to please. So he says, what do you want? He says, I want to defeat the Pandavas. Then Lord Shiva knows. He's he's the greatest Vaishnava and he knows what's happening. He says, fine, okay, I can help you. But when it comes to Arjuna, I won't be able to do anything because he's protected personally by the Lord. So that's where I cannot do anything about it. So then he'll say, okay, fine. But one thing is, whoever beheads this Jayadratha, if his head falls down on the ground, that person will die. Whoever is trying to hurt him will die. So that Krishna knows. So what will happen in the Mahabharata war? What will happen is Krishna will tell Arjuna, shoot this guy, but make sure his head falls on his father's lap. So it doesn't fall on the ground, it falls on the father's lap, who is actually meditating. So that way, Arjuna's life is saved, and Krishna also helps him. See, the Lord personally is helping a person who is righteous. So that is the Lord's mercy. If we are a devotee and if you are pure at heart, He'll personally guide us. He'll tell us, everything. It's not possible for Arjuna to win this battle alone. He knows that after everything is over, when Krishna departs, he actually feels for it. After hearing the whole Bhagavad Gita, he has that heavy heart. After hearing that I'm a soul, you're a soul, we think, okay, he's now all very strong person. But when Krishna departs, he is still heavy hearted. He misses Krishna. So that time he actually reveals this. He tells his brothers, Krishna wasn't there. We won't win this war at all because the people on the other side were not easy to defeat. They were not easy to kill. There's no defeat. Defeat means either you die or you win. That's how the battle is. So everyone knows it's Krishna who did it. So that's why Jayadratha is very important, because he had gone and he was trying to get back at them. Now Krishna is through his universal form, he has shown that don't worry, all your enemies are taken care of. I have taken care of all that. Krishna answers Arjuna's questions. Time I am. His mission is to destroy everything, all the people except Pandavas. That also is very clear now. Indicates even if Arjuna did not want to fight, they will die anyway. So as long as we have this domineering nature, I want to become the boss, I want to dominate material nature, we'll remain conditioned. That's why we are called conditioned souls, because we have this proprietorship. I want to be the boss, I want to own everything, I want to control material nature. That thing is there in us. That's why we are called conditioned souls. But the moment, Arjuna understood who is in control, what's happening. So an intelligent person, when he understands the Lord, he is in control, I'm just very insignificant in the whole, cosmos. And what am I supposed to do? When a person who understands that, the moment he surrenders to the Lord, he is immediately free. Isn't it? It's a person who wants to lord it over nature, he feels like he wants to be free. That's why he wants to control. Because if he has power and control, he is free. That's his mentality. But the moment a person surrenders to the Lord, he's actually liberated. He's the one who is free of anxiety and free of everything. He's called liberated. Even if he's in the material body, he's already liberated. Doesn't even have to enter the spiritual world because he surrendered. Krishna is in control of him. So, Katha Upanishad says all Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme as the all-devouring giant Krishna. I have already destroyed all your enemies, become my instrument and fight and win glory. Arjuna's motivation is to fulfill Lord's desire. He says, fine, I will go ahead and do this, because I want to please Krishna. Lord's plan, very specific in material world. Sign of intelligence. To recognize that the whole world is moving under the plan of Lord. So that is a sign of intelligence. So who is intelligent actually? A person who knows that he doesn't own anything. Prabhupada writes in the purport also, in several books he's mentioned this. See, if we have a beautiful house or whatever, based on our capacity, we have something. If we have this attitude that, if we are completely realize that this house is actually, it actually belongs to Krishna, that such a person is actually intelligent. Because all his activities also will be very, very pious. Lord's plan, very specific, sign of intelligence. Fool's mentality is no plan behind the creation. He thinks there is no plan behind this entire creation. Everything just happened on its own. We see so many varieties of flowers, so many colors, and so many tunes. It seems as many, I think we discussed this already, as many species of life are there, 84 lakh species, that many musical notes are there. That's given in one of the canto, 10th canto. And so many tunes and so many things. Krishna, when he plays the flute, nobody would have heard that tune before. It is like that. It's just that we don't know. Our music, what we learn, we have so many music directors and music, everything that we see in this world, that is also limited. There is much more that we don't know at all. So it's like that. How can we say somebody that is not, there is a, if there's a painting, obviously there is a painter. So it's like that. So we cannot say everything is an accidental formation. So scientists say perhaps or maybe, but they don't say God, right? Never we use that word in any science book saying that there's a soul, a spirit soul, or behind all this, or God. And it just says perhaps, maybe, that's how it is. But it is like just a foolish idea. Nimitta matram, become an instrument. Savyasachi. Prabhupada says that he is the best example. He says, whatever I did, it happened because of Krishna's mercy and my Guru's will. He says that he is just an instrument. He's doing instrumental. He took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message to the West. He was just like a postman, nothing more. He doesn't take any credit at all. It's like that. So spiritual world is like that. They are full of, these elevated devotees are very humble, full of humility. But in the material world, we see when we go to work, we see everybody wants to boast. I have this, I have that, I'm this, I'm that, and I did this. They want to be noticed. But spiritual, life is different. Where a devotee knows, it's all Lord's will that will work in the end, and he's just being an instrument, just a part and parcel of the supreme whole. So summary of section D. Arjuna tremblingly prays. It seems his voice is also like that. It's trembling because after seeing universal form, is kind of shaken up. Arjuna then begs forgiveness for his offenses. Arjuna fearfully requests Krishna to again reveal his true form as a supreme personality of Godhead. Let's understand this. Okay. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the supreme personality of Godhead, Arjuna trembled, fearfully offered obeisances with folded hands, and began falteringly to speak as follows. Arjuna became bewildered in wonder, and he offered obeisances with faltering voice. Okay, not as a friend. Now he's not looking at Krishna as a friend at all. So as a devotee, as a devotee is glorifying the Lord and is actually demonstrating, he's telling Krishna is worshipable by everyone. Everyone should worship Krishna. He's actually, by his example, is showing that. And he's become enlightened right now after hearing about Krishna and hearing from Krishna about the outcome of the battle. And he understands whatever Krishna is doing, everything that he does in future as well as he's doing right now, all his actions are actually good. Even though it looks like the enemies are crushing in his mouth and he did something, somebody's head is going this way, there's blood, whatever happens, whatever activity it is, it's all on the absolute plane. What he does is actually good for everybody. All Krishna's activities plan is also perfect. It is for the benefit of every living entity. Arjuna has understood that much. So he's the maintainer, Krishna is the maintainer. He's also the destroyer of the undesirables. So he understands this. Then he also saw all the demigods, siddhas, all these intelligent people. They were all offering obeisances to Krishna, but all the demons, atheists, they could not stand. They were running away. They fled, it says. So all the it's kind of like, he's also offering prayers with faltering voice. It's not pleasing form. But at least he's not running away. But these atheists and demons, they get very scared. They're fearful. Only sinners have this fear on their face. Prabhuji explains this very nicely. The moment a person is in anxiety or some fear is there, it is like, what if I get caught? Or what, have I done something wrong? Only sinners have that fear. A devotee who has a pure heart and who cannot harm anyone, even his enemy, he will not harm. See, that's why they're saying here in the puppet also it is said, a Krishna conscious person or a highly elevated person is a friend to everyone, because he wants, like Nityananda Prabhu, he was trying to give this Harinam to everyone, even Jagai Madai. There's most sinful people there. They were violent. I don't know what all, they have done almost everything. Robbing, hurting people, throwing things at them, insulting them. They were born in a good family, but they became like that, Jagai Madai. In spite of that, Nityananda Prabhu wanted to give them, because of mercy, he wanted to give them Harinam. They said, can you chant? Can you chant? That's enough, right? Harinam is enough. That will purify you. He wanted to give, but they threw something at him. In spite of that, it was hurt. Obviously, it was hurting. But his only worry was when Lord Prabhu, Chaitanya Prabhu came to know, he was very angry that Nityananda Prabhu was hurt. But their main thing was, Nityananda Prabhu was thinking, they're not chanting. That was his main worry. Not that he got hurt or anything, but he will still try to purify others. So that's the greatest service that they do. So here, like this, these demons, atheists, they cannot stand. But all the devotees, all the higher, demigods are all devotees of the Lord. That is why they had this divine vision to see the universal form. Unless and until we are on the platform of divinity, we cannot see the Lord in any form, 400 form or 200 form. We can't, we can't see. That's why only a devotee. So that is one of the most important points you must remember. Who can see the universal form? Who can understand Krishna to some extent at least? Only a devotee. Atheists and fools and all these demons, they will not be able to. So only a devotee, pure devotee, can see this, who has divine vision, can see this, because they had divine vision. They saw Sanjaya also, because he had divine vision, he saw, and Arjuna is a devotee anyway. So, O Hrishikesha, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this rightly done. So everything Lord does is good. O great one, who stands above even Brahma? He's telling it, the verse is so clear. He's saying you are bigger than Brahma. You are the original master. Why should they not offer their homage up to you? Oh, limitless, Ananta. In that verse, shloka, you see this word Ananta, which means limitless one. O refugee of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. So Arjuna understood that no one is greater than Krishna. So Brahma was born out of the lotus stem, grown from the navel of abdomen of Garbhodakshai, Vishnu, and then Lord Shiva. So Brahma and Lord Shiva, in the third canto, lot of information about Shiva and Rudras and the creation is given. So we're understanding everything is originating from Krishna only. So even Lord Shiva, Brahma, they are also offering their obeisances to Krishna. Akshara, there's a word called Akshara, means everything in this material creation is subject to destruction, but the Lord is beyond all that. His spiritual abode also is is not destroyed, indestructible. He also is completely transcendental, not like us. And then everything rests on him. Everything, even the Brahma Jyoti, that is also is resting on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the original personality, the Godhead. You're the only sanctuary of the manifested cosmic world. You know everything, and you're all that is knowable. You're above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. So Arjuna's words are very clear. We must read this 100 times, then we'll never, forget, and we'll understand that Krishna indeed is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But nobody can understand Krishna. It's a mystery. Nobody can understand Krishna. Only he should reveal himself. That will happen if a person is becomes very close to him. When he becomes, he has full, complete love. His heart is filled with love for Krishna, and he is completely devoted to Krishna and completely surrendered. That's when Krishna starts revealing. You are air, and you are the supreme controller. He's comparing Krishna to air because air is all pervasive, and it is one of the most important representation of the demigods. So he's comparing to air. It's all pervasive. You are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my obeisances, respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. He is offering obeisances again and again and again and again. So, that's how Arjuna is right now. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Arjuna's prayers. So what is he praying? He's saying, you are the ultimate rest of everything and all knowledge. You are the essence of everything. I offer you obeisances from front, behind, and from all sides. I have in the past addressed you as, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend. Without knowing your glories, please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. Now, like if you understand this in a way, see for instance, in a classroom, a teacher out of like say 50 children, a teacher may have some favorite. She may not tell openly, but she thinks this kid is learning properly. This kid is really good, responsible. I can give some responsibility. That kid needs some action to be taken. She knows each and every kid to some extent. And some kids, she may give some liberty. She may treat them, give them special treatment, talk to them, give more work, and ask them to do several things. And she may get a little closer, right? But in spite of that, there is a little boundary. We cannot cross that. So she's a teacher only, this is a student only, right? Like that. I'm just giving an example. Even in an office, if there's a boss, you may get a little closer, but with a spiritual master also for that sake. Say as one person starts serving more and more and more, and then starts getting to know the spiritual master more and more, you should be very careful not to commit any offense. That line should not be crossed, because this person is still a student, that person is still on a higher platform. It's like that. And here, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He's understood that. And what has Arjuna done? Thinking that he is a friend, among friends, it is normal to have casual talk. And, we call friends with nicknames and whatnot, very casual. Like, okay, oh, Yadava, Yadu dynasty is born in Yadu dynasty. Oh, Yadava, oh, my friend. Imagine calling the Supreme, the most important person in this entire material world and spiritual world, the entire creation, calling such a person like this, very informal. It is like, we never go and call the principal by name. So something like that. He's feeling, oh my God, just forgive me. I might have dishonored you. So he's telling like that. So he's just saying, please forgive. How nice of him. He understands his position right now. But Krishna is very, very merciful. He likes that love coming from the heart. He likes that humility. Is transcendental. You see in Krishna Leela, if you read Krishna book, you see the loving reciprocation he has with his friends. He is also pressing their feet. They are also pressing his feet. They are very informal with him. And when Brahma was offering prayers, these gopas go so close to him and touch him, touches on the head and touches peacock feather. And then Brahma is like, what is happening here? People, there are yogis and great sages. They just want a little darshan of his lotus feet also is too much. And here these gopas and all these gopis, they have got this opportunity of personally touching him, playing with him. So that's the greatest benediction a person can have. And a person who understands that is actually already, um, very intelligent, very wise, because he'll understand that is his goal, to please the Lord. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation. Who would like to read these two verses? Please read translations. Hare Krishna. Can someone please read these verses?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds? O Lord of immeasurable power.
Next one also, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisance and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So Arjuna is asking forgiveness here. And so he's the original spiritual master. He gave Vedic instructions to Brahma. And now he's instructing Arjuna. So only a bona fide spiritual master, a representative of Krishna, like Arjuna is a representative of Krishna now, because through him we are learning a lot of things about Krishna and his majestic powers and potencies and everything. In spite of that, we don't know anything about Krishna. It's like that. So only a person, he must be a descendant in the line of disciplic succession originating from Krishna himself. If you are, Prabhupada says, I am repeating my spiritual master's words. Nothing I have written here is coming from me. It is all coming from the parampara. Just like that. If you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, only a representative of Krishna. Only such a person who is repeating these words can teach others. We cannot talk anything. Nobody can write their own instructions, because if you see the parampara system also, all the Goswamis, and this is Lord Chaitanya here, and all this, different Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all this, they were not ordinary at all. So this entire parampara system, it's been passed on the Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Prabhupada. He's passed on the information to Prabhupada and he's delivering it to us. So those words have to be repeated. That's all. If we can understand that much, then our life becomes successful. And there is no difference between Krishna's body, senses, mind, and himself. He's completely transcendental. He's nothing like us. This point has to be remembered, because right from 4th chapter he is repeating this. He says, Janma karma cha medimvyam evam yo vetti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naitimameti. So Arjuna, he says, one who understands that, if one who knows that Krishna's body is transcendental, his activities are transcendental, whatever he does is everything is divine, transcendental, then if we can understand that much, then after he gives up this body, he doesn't have to come back to this miserable world again. He says that. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita also is confirmed that Krishna is God and everybody is his servant. And that is there in so many places, it repeats. And devotees relate to Krishna in various relationships. Each one of his is different. He is reciprocating to each living entity, and the relationship is unique. We can't compare my life, we can't compare my life with somebody else's, because Krishna reciprocates differently to different people. So it's like that. And once a person reaches that, like a very, if he's made some progress and he can really relate to Krishna, he'll enjoy the relationship. Back in Goloka Vrindavana, everybody is enjoying their relationship with Krishna. Like Mother Yashoda, she has this paternal affection for Krishna. So she's enjoying that kind of relationship. And then, there are friends who just want to be friends with Krishna. And Subhadra is his sister, right? And she's Yogamaya. And then there are like this, there are gopis who enjoy differently. So they enjoy different rasas. They're reciprocating. Krishna is reciprocating to them, and they relish these rasas, different rasas. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I'm gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. There was no reason to fear, but still he's saying his mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. He's saying, come back. How we were like 200, just like how we were riding the chariot, like a charioteer. Like, my friend, please come back in that form. He's, requesting. Very humbly, he's requesting Krishna to come back to his original form. So when he is requesting like this, it shows that his original form is how he was, 200 form. From that original form, he can become anything. He can expand. He can become anything. So that becomes very clear. In Vaikuntha planets also, there are many Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. And in each planet, Krishna has a representation. His plenary expansion is there. And the Vishnus, they have different names based on how they hold the conch shell, mace, lotus, then Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, how they hold in their hand. In right hand, the upper right hand, there may be lotus flower, the upper right hand may have conch shell. So based on that arrangement, they have different names. So he is present in every Vaikuntha planet as his personal expansion. So, but his original form is how he is here in Vrindavan. Request to withdraw the fearful form and reveal the form as personality of Godhead. This is just a summary. We'll go over it fast. Arjuna's request to see the four-handed form indicates that all the forms are one with Krishna. Different Narayanas are named according to the different configurations of the four hands. Indicates Arjuna is afraid and joyful simultaneously. Joyful because he is gladdened by knowing his friend's opulence as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Imagine your friend is, you come to know your friend is really, really very great, has amazing talent, and you're very, he has no envy. You can see how pure Arjuna is. He's so happy. But in this material world, it's very difficult to find a friend like that who will be 100% happy. You cannot know. Probably there are, but it is, nobody is a well-wisher like Krishna. So he's the best friend. He's the best well-wisher we have. So here, Arjuna is so happy that my friend is so great. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his ability, he can show the universal form. He's the Supreme. He's very happy. Afraid because of so many offenses he's committed also. Universal form is a temporary form, but Vaikuntha form is transcendental, four-handed, and eternal. Krishna can assume any form and is asked here to show his Narayana form. Mataji, please recite this one, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Kiritam gadinam chakrahastam ichchami tvam drashtumaham tathaiva tamaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hand. I long to see you in that form. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. In Brahma Samhita also it is given that, is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms. And these main forms are Lord Ram, Narsimha, Narayana. These are all main. And Lord Ram is eternal, Lord Narsimha Dev is eternal. It's not like the pillar broke and that's when Narsimha Dev has appeared. Narsimha Dev is eternal. That's how it is. From Bhagavatam, that's the information we get. It is not linear. Lord Ram is eternal, Lord Narsimha Dev is eternal, and Narayana also. And he's asking him to show the Narayana form, the spiritual form. And now he knows. And Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Chakra and Gada are for demons, obviously. And lotus flower and conch shell are meant for devotees. So we discussed this. We'll go to section E. Only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-armed supreme form. Krishna withdraws his universal form. Krishna shows Arjuna his four-armed form. And finally, his two-armed form. Krishna's two-armed form can be directly seen only through pure, undivided devotional service. Can someone please read this translation? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you my internal potency, this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So this verse is very, very clear. People ask, who else has seen this? So he's saying no one else has seen this universal form. What Yashodama saw, what Duryodhan, what others saw, nobody saw this actually. He's saying no one before you. So if there's a question saying that who else saw this universal form before, it was Arjuna who saw this kind of universal form. Ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Only he saw. And this universal form was manifested through his internal potency. It is inconceivable for us humans to understand just by mental speculation. So you must understand this. And all those universal forms shown before Arjuna were not like this. So just remember that. Okay. Oh, best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charities or similar activities can this form be seen. Only you have seen this. See, he's telling, we can go and study all the Vedas, do all the exercise we can. We cannot see this universal form. It is his mercy. How much he wants to reveal, to whom he will reveal, everything is up to him. We cannot order, we cannot force Krishna. Even he was requesting so nicely, a lot of humility. Arjuna requested, if you think, I am capable, it's up to you, it's like that, very, a lot of humility. So he's saying, you can perform sacrifices also, study the Vedas also, do a lot of charity, all kind of activities, but no, it's not possible. Only a person who has divine vision, pure devotee of the Lord, whose heart is filled with love for Krishna, who can do anything for Krishna, devotes himself to Krishna, complete surrender to Krishna. Only such a person can be close to Krishna, and then Krishna will reveal. So impersonal is, and all these atheists, they will never be able to understand all this. So unless a person is saying very clearly, unless he's a devotee like Arjuna, it is impossible for him to even see this. Please recite this one, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mate yatha machadi mudha bhavo drashtva rupam ghoram idam mama demo mamedam vyapeta vintritamanaha punasvam Tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. You have been perturbed and bewild by saying this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form of your desire. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So he's saying you can see me, a peaceful form, beautiful form. And also one more thing is, in the previous chapters, we know Arjuna was worried about killing Bhishma and Drona. He said, oh, they were worshipable, the grandfather, master. He did not even analyze them. Why they did not speak up when Draupadi Vastraparan was going on? It is not even analyzing why Drona was quiet, why Bhishma was quiet. No, he's not even going there. He's just saying they are worshipable because they're elders. He's my teacher, my guru. This is his problem. Now Krishna has, shown all that. He's saying he will not be afraid. And when the sons of Dhritarashtra, all those sons of him, like Duryodhana and Dushasana, they were trying to disrobe Draupadi, Bhishma and Drona were actually silent. That is actually negligence of their duty. Actually, that should not be happening. So, right, they were quiet, right? That's actually sin only. Now, Krishna is, if you read 11.49 purport and the next few purports and surrounding these purports, you'll understand Krishna is telling they need to be punished for it. It's okay to be, if they are killed. These people already are killed anyway because it was unlawful. What happened was not nice. Anyway, so they have to be punished, and they're already punished. They're already dead. You see in this form, you can see that they're already killed by me. And you see now Krishna is speaking to him. There is some kind of dialogue going on. With the universal form, there is reciprocation. So devotees are not much interested in the universal form. They like to interact with Krishna. If you go through the life of all this Goswami, Sanatana Goswami and Madhavendra Puri, we come to know that Krishna was reciprocating to them so fast, so fast. Devotional service is so potent. We never know. Like, they have to just desire and it would happen. Like, Rupa Goswami just thought, I wish I could give Kheer Prasad to my brother, my guru. Sanatana Goswami is actually his younger brother, but he took him as his guru. He just thought about it, and there was Kheer immediately. Like, the pastime, right? There was this little girl who came and said she had got everything what is required, milk and this, all sweet and nuts and everything was there, ghee. She said, my mother has sent this, and you can take this. And he was like, he doesn't know how to make a proper kheer. And then she prepares, and then Sanatana Goswami consumes that. He says, where do you get this? He'll say, there was this little girl who came. She's so beautiful, and she came like this. And they both are like, that is, Radharani's mercy. They're Vrindavaneshwari. They're sitting in Vrindavan. They want to serve Krishna. Radha will manifest it. So it's like that. Krishna constantly used to reciprocate to them. Madhavendra Puri also used to keep on talking to Krishna. And Krishna used to come in his dreams and say things to him, and it was all true. It was all real. So they actually had communication with Krishna. So it's like that. With this 200 form, if a person is very pure and if Krishna recognizes him as a devotee, obviously there will be some loving exchanges between them. It is very sweet actually. There is this pastime where this Goswami is actually offering roti to Krishna every day, and then Krishna one day says, at least put some salt in it. What is this? He reciprocates. He says, oh, today you're asking for salt. Tomorrow you will want butter. And then after you have something. No, please eat what is here. And the thing is, they are all serving him only. And they're, it's that very, like, how two friends talk sometimes. It's a very close, intimate conversation. He says, you better eat what I am giving. Where will I get butter for you? Where will I eat all this? So look at you. Today you'll ask this, tomorrow you'll ask something else. And where will I go? So he speaks, reciprocates like that response. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, while speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his four armed form, real four-armed form, and at last he showed him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. I said, no need to be afraid at all. Saumya Vapuhu, it says, means very beautiful form. This 200 Krishna form is so beautiful. So beautiful. It seems so many people have tried to describe his beauty, and the words are always short, never. And it continues today also. So many people have tried to describe Krishna's beauty, his eyes, his face, his lotus feet, and there's Madhurashtakam and whatnot. So many kirtans are there, so many shlokas, so many. But nobody has completely been able to describe it. The efforts are going on and on. That's what Prabhupada says. And then universal form was disturbing. So let's move on. Okay. Someone please read these two translations, please. Hare Krishna. All these, most of the images you see in these PPTs and some of the, they're all paintings drawn by the devotees. They're not professional painters, it seems. There's so many, like in the 18 days class also, you see some of the images used in the PPTs. They're all drawn by devotees. Prabhupada went to the West, and these devotees wanted to serve in some way or other, and they used to paint. They were not at all professionals. But you see how beautiful the paintings have turned out because they're drawing from their heart. Devotion shows. So beautiful. Mataji, please read, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. 11.52. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeing the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Brahma, Shiva, they also want to see this 200 form. They also like to see this darshan. And he says, without this much bhakti, you cannot do anything. Devotion to Krishna is the criteria. And nobody should think he is ordinary. A person, may just look at him because he looks like one of us. So they should not think he's ordinary. Then that person is in ignorance. Prabhupada writes. Please read this, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Almost done. We have 4 more verses. Vinda
The
Mataji.
form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah.
Satchidananda Vigraha is completely spiritual, full of bliss and eternity. So, by a material process, we cannot understand Krishna. It is not like academic education. People may think, oh, I just have, what is there? We read so many books in our school and colleges, write exams and pass that exam also. We'll think, oh, I'm a graduate now. It is not like that. This is not a material process. Understanding Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam and approaching Krishna is not a material process. And great, many people think, he's just a great person or he's no historical figure. He's just a philosopher, a politician. They come up with their own, description of Krishna. But actually, we should hear about him from authorities who actually know him, like a very elevated spiritual master like Prabhupada, or, coming from, we have this 4 bona fide parampara systems, right? You have heard about that, right? Shri Parampara, Rudra Parampara, Ramanujacharya Parampara is there. And then there is Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. If anyone coming from one of these paramparas is, talking about Krishna, then that is authentic. So it's very important to hear from the right person. We should not hear from a wrong person. Then it says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warns us actually, don't hear from such a person. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know the transcendental nature as a supreme lord of all that be. Avajananti mam muda manushim tanumashtam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. This is from 9th chapter. So he's covered by Maya potency, is not revealed to everyone. So Prabhuji gives a rough example like this, Narendra Modi is not accessible to everyone. We cannot just say, I'll dial his number and he'll pick up and talk to me. Right? There's some kind of process to it. If you want to really meet him, it is, there is something. Or you do something great, he will only invite and give an award. That can be done. Something like that. So Krishna is not so easy to achieve. Yet he is easy to achieve. Just by chanting, he's right there. Because there's no difference between his name and himself. So just chant and Krishna is so accessible. So Prabhupada says that. Please recite this one, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bhaktyatva ananya shakya ahamevam vidorguna jnatu drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So we can understand Krishna only by undivided, unalloyed devotional service, not by speculation. And then we also know that his original form is this only. And then we can perform penance according to the principles given by the spiritual master. We can fast on Janmashtami. We can follow Ekadashi. Prabhupada says, eat what to eat. Krishna Prasadam. What does Krishna like to eat? We eat only that. If you do all that, if you chant, if you eat Krishna Prasadam, if you follow the regulative principles and whatever he says, then our life automatically becomes perfect. So then what else? Let's move on. And this universal form is actually for a person who does not have love for Krishna. It is for them, the neophytes. Because a devotee is like Yashodamai or somebody, they are very happy just to serve him in this. They're not interested in universal form. Okay. So yes, Mataji, this verse, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Matkarmakrut mad paramo madbhaktaha sangavarjitaha nivaira sarvabhuteshayaha sa mamiti pandava. I have mistaken the recitation. This is something written. I'll recite again. Matkarmakrut mat paramo madbhaktaha sangavarjitaha Nivedaha sarvabhuteshu yaha sa mamiti pandava. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So we were talking about Krishna Karma, right? That's what it is. So one should not be attached to the result of his work. So like how we said, build a building, but know that the owner of the building is Krishna, not us. It belongs to the Lord only. And if you have install a deity inside in there, and then you can still live there, not a problem. And then this, what he's saying, the pure devotees, when they start, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was freely giving out Krishna Prem, because ultimate is Krishna Prem, and he was distributing Krishna Prem. Come take it, it's free. Don't like Ashtanga Yoga and all this, that, all kind of penance, austerity, all the Vedic study, everything, ultimately it is meant for understanding Krishna only, and he was giving away. But this is not easy. Prabhupada writes that it's very risky. It's a very risky job, because pure devotees sometimes risk their lives also. Like Nityananda Prabhu was hurt on his head, right? He threw something at him. He said, just chant Harinam, and he threw, who are you to tell me what to do? That's their attitude. And we know Prabhupada talks about Jesus also. What was he trying to do? Spread God consciousness. What did they do? They crucified him. So sometimes, obviously, that's how it is. It's not an easy job. So he sacrificed they themselves, Christians also say, Jesus died for our sins. Like when a spiritual master they burns our karma, they take away our karma. They're trying to help us because we are all sinners. That's why we are here, going through so many miseries. Why? Because we sinned something, we have done wrong. That's why we have been thrown here, pushed into this world. But Krishna is not like that. He can appear and disappear also. Like Lord Ram, Narsimhadev, they can appear and disappear. Narad Muni can travel anywhere, no visa required, any planet, anything. But for us, we don't even know which family will be pushed into next, which yoni will be pushed into, which body, nothing. So these spiritual masters appear, they want to purify us. They want to tell us who we are. We are all spirit souls and we belong in the kingdom of heaven, kingdom of God. Not heaven, heavenly planets, it's just, that is also material world, spiritual world where we belong actually. They give us that information. They're trying to make us God conscious, purify, but then they risk themselves. But that is the greatest service a person can do. Others people just live like animals, eating, sleeping, waiting, defending. Eat, sleep, wait, defend. Prabhupada says, this is all they're doing. Eat, then sleep nicely, then produce children, then what else meet, and then defend. Like, for no, if there is nothing, they'll create some fight, and they'll forget why the fight started also. Like that. People are living mindlessly. So Prabhupada says, that's why, these great authorities, they are trying to help us, take us out of this miserable condition. Essence of Bhagavad Gita. Mat karma kran. Engaged in doing my work. Krishna karma. Only most purified devotional service frees from jnana and karma, executed without envy, can bring one to understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mat karma, engaged in doing my work. Mat paramo, makes me the supreme goal. Mat bhakta, engaged in my devotional service. Sanghavarjitaha, free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation. Sanghavarjita is very important not to have association with non-devotees and atheists and all. That is not going to help us. It's going to drag down our progress. Nirvaira sarva bhutesh. Friendly to all living beings. Such a person is friendly to all living beings. This is characteristics of Ananya Bhakta. Ananya Bhakti. We'll learn about it in the next chapter. So we have to be free from unwanted association and contamination of material desires. Then one who cultivates all this and then cultivates the knowledge of Krishna and thinks about Krishna favorably. Not like Kamsa. Kamsa was also thinking, but in a different way. So act for Krishna favorably. Such a person definitely will attain Krishna. So we finished the chapter. Please go back and read all the purports. Whatever was in the purports only we discussed here in the class also. So we have pretty much covered everything. All the points are covered. But you read the purports, and if any doubts, we can discuss in the next class. So chapter 11. Arjuna's request and Krishna's description of his universal form. First he described and then he showed. Sanjaya's description of the universal form. Kalosmi loka annaya kat kaimayam become my instrument. Arjuna's prayers. Only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-armed supreme form. So he asks, who are you? He says, I am time. And then what does it take to see Krishna? Pure devotional service. And then Arjuna was also disturbed that we saw. Then he offered prayers and then he again manifested his two-handed form. Then he also established the supremacy of Bhakti Yoga onto his personal form. And then in the next chapter, Arjuna is going to ask about personalist and impersonalist. He's going to ask that and we'll discuss about Bhakti Yoga. So I'll stop here.